Yay!
Are we live? Maybe.
Maybe we're live.
We shall see. We get that weird 8-second delay, so you can never tell if you're live or not. If anyone's
watching. I just got to make sure that I'm muting.
Hey, we're live. People can see our faces.
Hey.
And some reason, I always look really pixelated at first, and I don't know why.
You look pixelated?
I think I look pixelated.
I think you look fantastic.
Aw, I think you look fantastic.
Thanks.
Hey, 5 people watching us now. Hi, welcome. Hello too. Wow.
Steph is here, Lady Gizmo, Kristen, hello.
Oh, everyone's so sweet. This is so exciting.
It is. Ash Hart Books, hi. Yes, Max is here.
Yes, because he has his own little Instagram, and so I did the little live feed video, and I'm like, we will have like an unofficial co-host member as well. So say hello. As he looks.
He's so cute. He kills me.
Well, he's not going to get any bigger. So he's turning 5 years old this summer, and so people are like, how is he turning 5 years old? Because he looks like such a little puppy. And he is the forever puppy. That's what he is.
Yes.
As he just burped. Did you just hear that? That was
yes.
So
yes, I did.
What are you gonna
do? My actual puppy Ruger, he just turned 5 months old, and he's already 40 pounds and tall. And
and that is a big dog compared to
yeah. Yeah, he's already taller than my full-grown, almost 12-year-old dog.
Just saw a message that the chat stream will be saved. It must be new. The chat stream.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. You answer that. Yeah.
I just got that message too because when I first chatted on the live stream, I did have that pop up that said it was going to be saved, and very handy because when you go back and look for, like all the book recommendations that people were typing out, I really wanted the live stream chats to be saved, but it's really cool. I like that idea.
I do too, especially because even when I would try and go back to save some of them, you can't scroll up past a certain point. So even if you are really smart and you remember, I mean, usually I just get so excited about talking about books, I forget. And so when I did remember to go back up, it wouldn't let me go to the beginning of the live stream. And so it would only go maybe 1/10 of the way or something. So if it's saving the entire chat, that's kind of awesome. I like that.
Yeah, I would love that.
And a 55-pound dog is a big dog. Steph, I just saw.
Yeah. I was like, did you see that comment? Steph's 55-pound dog. Yeah. My golden retriever is like 60 pounds. So yeah, I get it.
Well, I mean, it's so funny. I have Max because I always wanted a Siberian Husky or a Chow Chow, and those are big dogs. and then I got Max.
Yeah, we had a Chow. She was mixed. She wasn't like full Chow, but yeah, she was so pretty, and she was the best guard dog, and she was so loving. Oh,
I just realized, I'm like, we're not even talking about Archer. We're just waiting.
We're just talking about dogs.
There's not even a dog in the book. Well, there are. Well, we can talk about his little love. You want to do that again? Because I think I was the one in frame that time. I don't know.
Oh, it's like.
He's got his little lovely animals that follow him around. So, I mean, that might be a good lead-in. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, seriously, because he is super. Archer.
Okay, well, first of all, we have to ask who in the comment section has read the book, and did you like the book? Did you rate the book? So start telling us what you thought about Archer, because when we get started, this is going to last. We're going to be talking about Archer.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be hitting the ground and running. It's going to be like, ooh, one-track mind here.
So I know there's that little delay between when we say something, people comment. But yeah, I mean, I know you said you gave it, what, 4.5 out of 5 stars?
Yeah, but like reading all the quotes and stuff that you were putting on Twitter, I was like, man, I love this book so much. I'm thinking about just giving it like straight 5 out of 5 stars because it was just so good.
So I when I read this, I I read on my iPad. I have it on my iPad. At least, I mean, I don't just have iPad books, obviously, from like the wall behind me, but I have this particular one on my iPad. And so whenever there's a quote I really like, no matter what book I'm reading, I always highlight it. And so for Archer, I don't know why I started doing this. I started emailing them to myself. I ended up sending myself like 100 emails. Every line was just an incredible line to me. I was having the best time with it. I mean, my book is just so colorful because, I mean, there were so many great one-liners, their dialogue, the monologue, like the inner thoughts. It was just so well written. I mean, putting the story aside, like the actual writing was spot on. I was having the best time with that.
Absolutely. And like, just like when you were just tweeting all those quotes, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm reliving the book. And it just made me want to dive back in and read it again.
I actually, so Archer was my special treat. This was the book I was looking forward to. I had a week of my PhD written exams, and so it was just 5 straight days of essay writing. And so that Saturday night, I curled up in my bed and I was like, I am reading Archer as my reward. And so the following, I think, Wednesday night, I reread it a second time. So I've already read this book twice because I just loved it so much.
Oh man, I'm jealous. Okay.
I mean, I love him. I loved Archer. He is my new book boyfriend. Like, I love Archer. He's not my Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy is my literary husband, but Archer is my book boyfriend now. It's official.
Yeah, he is. Oh my gosh, he's so sweet. Cinnamon roll. He's sexy. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just have it all.
He's a sweet cinnamon roll. I mean, I know you tweeted and you were telling me you really enjoyed Bree. You know, Bree can get out of here. Like, I want Archer for myself. Like, I will learn sign language. He can work on his nice penmanship with me. Like, we'll make it work.
Yes, girl. Yes. It's like, sorry, Bree, you were okay for. Okay, I'm gonna need you to move out of the way.
I mean, I love Archer. I mean, like, I know he loves Bree, so I'll give him that. You know, Bree is his definition of love. I know, but still, I love him.
All right, we got some comments. Okay, so Steph says there are 2 dogs in the book, tore my heart out. A little predictable, but definitely got me most of the time. Lady Gizmo, I'm here for moral support, waiting for the movie.
Oh, so do you want to? I was going to save this as a talking point for later, but we can. So for those of you, I mean, if you're here for moral support, should explain Archer is mute. He cannot talk, and so they bought the movie rights 2.5 years ago, I believe, but they haven't done anything with the movie rights. And so I was actually going to ask everybody what they thought about that, because I think it's going to be really difficult to have a movie of Archer's voice and have it transcend its medium, because they use sign language. I think it's going to be an interesting, not challenge, that's the wrong word, but it's definitely going to be something they're going to have to consider.
Yeah, that's true. And I honestly didn't think about that until you brought it up just now. But also, like a movie that just kind of touched on that was The Shape of Water. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I also just watched Mute on Netflix with Alexander Skarsgård there. So
yeah, so it's kind of like, obviously there are movies coming out about, you know, mute or sign language individuals. So I think, like, if there is any time, now is the time, you know.
Oh, this was what I was thinking about. And so I actually thought about that as well. I think the difference is because it's a romance, it's going to be a different type of experience because of the narrative itself, because it's going to be those 2 people. I mean, I used to watch the show Switched at Birth, and they used to have the sign language elements incorporated into the program because it had to do with a deaf school, and one of the main characters was almost deaf. And so I remembered they used to have her speak her lines because she was only partially deaf. And then the sister who learned sign language, she would say her lines as she was signing. And so they integrated it in an interesting way. And I'm just curious how this might play out in the movie. I know this is totally like jumping right, you know, into the deep end, but.
No, that's totally true. I didn't like watch the show Switched at Birth, but I did know like that was a premise about it. And I did see a couple of trailers where they are signing and the one girl is saying her lines as she's signing. And Bree could do that definitely, but for Archer's character, he cannot talk at all. So it's just going to be him signing. And then Steph just said something Steph, whoever they get will have to be an amazing actor to play Archer. And I agree, because if you cannot talk, you have to have like the world of emotion on your face to have that portrayal on screen. So definitely I agree with Steph on that.
Oh no, third, I agree with that one. Especially because watching the movie Mute with Alexander Skarsgård, like you could see him with the eyes and he was really trying to do with the facial expressions. It's not easy, and I don't know if he captured it entirely. I mean, everybody loves him, so I'm sure he's getting rave reviews for the movie, but it's not an easy task for an actor to just, talk with your eyes. It's like Tyra Banks when they used to model on that show and be like, say it with your eyes.
Yes, absolutely. I haven't seen that movie, but I do know about it. But yeah, it's like a very fine line between getting your point across and then over the top acting, because you're just doing everything like, so it's definitely, yeah.
I just saw the narrated thoughts on Switched at Birth. They would have the captions at the bottom of the screen. But this is why I was like really highlighting the fact it's a romance, because I myself really love international films. I know that's probably like something people judge a little bit, sounds a little pretentious, but I love foreign films on Netflix. I love that they have them. I watch a lot of French films. I just watched Blind Date, which is really cute. It's really difficult when you're trying to read the bottom of the screen and watch something.
And watch what's happening, yeah.
Especially for a romance, when it's all in the eyes, the expressions, the mannerisms, and that's a lot of what the book has, nuance. So I'm curious how this could transcend its medium.
Yeah, very, very true. I'm interested. I'm very interested. I would totally, oh, my dogs are barking, sorry. But yeah, I would definitely be interested in, that. Lady Gizmo, unless they have his thoughts narrated. Yeah, that's true. And Niall DeMarco. I don't know who that is.
I know, I saw that, and I didn't even know how to pronounce the first name. I was looking at that, and I was going, is it Niley?
Yeah, I don't know who that actor is, so I'm probably gonna have to Google it, but so I could see.
Yeah, can you tell us what movie he was in, or TV show? I mean,
yes.
The context, you might remember him. I'm not the best learning new actors' names. It takes me a few movies or TV shows to get the names down. I'm a facial person. I recognize faces more so than anything. Oh, yes, I do remember him. Oh, I do remember him. He was on Dancing with the Stars. My mother loved this guy. Okay, now that you just pointed, now you just said he's the model. I remember my mom telling me she was voting for him on Dancing with the Stars. I remember him now.
Okay, well, I do not know who that is. So and it's funny because I watched Dancing with the Stars, but I must have missed that season. So I'm definitely going to have to look him up. But yeah, okay, so.
Now I want him to play Archer. That's actually a really good casting.
Okay, I have to look him up now because.
I mean, because
first to see what he looks like.
I mean, I don't know if he looks like the character because Archer is blonde and I'm pretty sure he has dark hair. Yes. And so I don't know how he look, but he's a model, so he's attractive. My book cover doesn't have that back where he's just all muscle. I know some book covers of Archer has that. Yes. This is a very weird conversation to be having, but
no, both of my editions just have this cover. It doesn't have the male with the back. Steph says it would be almost like a silent movie for his alone scenes. That's true. I guess you could do voiceover narration, with his thoughts and stuff, because he did have a lot of thoughts, and I know that has happened in movies before. Voiceover narration.
I'm not a big fan of voiceover stuff. I'm really not. I don't mean to bash on this idea. That's my biggest complaint with the show Outlander is that they have too much narration sometimes. I mean,
really?
Well, sometimes the scene will be happening, and she'll be telling you exactly what's going on in the scene. You're like, I just saw that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There was one scene one time. It really stayed with me because it was overkill. It was almost as if they had to tell you to make sure you caught it. And it had that moment of, are you talking down to your audience a little bit? I think sometimes as long as it's done well and tastefully, it could be the way to go with this. But I don't know. For Outlander, it's a little much for me. Tangent, side note.
It's let's not go on a downward spiral of Outlander because I could talk about that all day.
So who would you guys get to play Archer? Now I'm curious if anybody else has any recommendations. Who would play Bree? I mean, we got to talk about Bree too. I mean, we're gushing over Archer. Did you guys like Bree? Were you rooting for her? Did you like her story? I mean, we got to get this conversation and comments going. Who would play Bree?
Well, for Archer, I know he's younger, right? But like
He's can't remember. 23? Archer?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But for some reason, I kept picturing Jensen Ackles.
Well, you just love him. He's your guy.
I love him. So I'm like, okay, I could see that. But yeah, he's much younger than Jensen Ackles. And then who would play Bree? Oh gosh, I have no idea.
I think it's hard for Bree because he is. Yeah, I knew he was. I knew he was young. I knew he was 22, 23.
Thanks, Steph.
Thank you. Yeah, you have a good memory. I read the book twice and I still forgot. I was like, one of them. And I mean, Bree for me was harder. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Like, I actually really need you to tell me, like, who would play Bree?
I need to know who would play Bree.
And the heart-shaped face. Apparently, she's absolutely gorgeous because all the guys in town are just falling all over her as soon as she arrives.
Of course she is. Of course, she's absolutely gorgeous.
She's walking around in little short shorts, going swimming at the beach. She's got the I mean, so what did you guys think of Bree? Even if we can't name an actress, did you like her? I mean, what are your thoughts? You need to tell us.
I did like Bree. She was very sweet and caring. She was a very caring individual. She tried, obviously when she first met Archer, he looked like a bum. So it's like she was very nice not to like judge a book by his cover. And she actually felt empathy for Archer, which I really, really thought was really sweet. Lady Gizmo said Lucy Hale for Bree. How do you feel about that, Angela?
I wasn't the biggest Pretty Little Liars fan. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of like neutral almost. I don't really know enough about her to really be like, yes. I just know she has that new show coming in the CW and I'm waiting to see how long it lasts. Yes. Hi. Yeah. He's like, I want to participate.
Ash Hart's books. Oh gosh, I don't know. I always find it harder to pick heroines than heroes. Definitely right there with you. Steph says you liked Bree because she was very open. Yeah, very true. Ash Hart's books. I really like Bree. She was just a compassionate person. Yes, I loved it.
I mean, you kind of have to admire her. I mean, as my hair gets stuck in my glasses, you have to admire her. She's been through a lot. She lost her father. She lost her mother, years before that. She went through a very traumatic situation. I mean, you really have to give it to her. I mean, a lot of times, yes, she's traumatized. She has the nightmares. She wakes up, cold sweats as the dog starts barking. But I mean, that didn't shut her down. That's my biggest thing. Like, she was still sweet to Archer. A lot of times you have the characters become very stoic. They end up being abrasive or their personalities change and they're altered completely. And so I really liked the way she was characterized. I thought that was a really nice way to have her. Yes, she had trauma, but she was still a nice person.
Right. Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
He's on my lap, just FYI. That's why I was looking down, like, what is he doing?
No worries. Yeah, her traumatic experience, she that could have made her turn like completely 180 in the other direction. Like, she could have just been, like you said, very stoic, very shut off from the rest of the world and not open to new relationships just because of what happened to her. And there's just like that one quote that I put on the Goodreads group is just like, she was just telling herself every day, it's like, Bree, you're going to be okay. You're going to make it through this and you're going to be happy again. And she was just like a strong, beautiful girl with like, even though this traumatic thing happened to her, multiple traumatic things, she lost everybody in like one fell swoop, and it's just, she had such a positive outlook. Even after all of that, she just really is like a light.
I mean, she was able, she put the work in with Archer, but she was able to become friends with her next door neighbor. She got the job at the diner. I mean, she was still outgoing. She was still, again, I think she had that optimistic, positive personality. And so she didn't let it define her. And it's so easy. And I've seen this in a lot of books. I read a lot of books. The characters start off at just this level of just, they're at the bottom of the hill and there's nowhere to go but up. She was already doing okay-ish. I mean, she wasn't perfect, obviously. Archer with the night terrors, it was still a factor, but she was still living her life.
Absolutely. She was, and I liked her because she was very relatable. I felt like, obviously you don't know how you would react until you were put in that situation, but I feel like that's kind of how I would have reacted. You know, I was like, I wouldn't want that person to win because I would want to live my life and be happy and try my best every day, even though, yeah, I am suffering at night or in the morning or wherever, whenever her terrors came about. It's like, yeah, I am still processing and trying to heal, but I'm not going to be like a scared person sitting alone in my room, sequestered off from the rest of the world, because I'm not going to let that person win.
I also, I like the comment about saying like real characters. I really did think they had that, they were so multidimensional. I loved that. They were not one-dimensional, you know, on the page characters. So I love how Ash Hart's books just said they felt real. Every character felt real to me. It wasn't just our leads, it was every character. So
yeah, oh, absolutely. Definitely.
I feel like we should also just say, like, this is spoiler. Like, we were talking about spoilers. Probably should mention at the beginning. I mean, so I don't know if everyone knows the trauma. So Bree was working at a deli with her husband, her father, and so he was deaf, so he couldn't talk, and so when they were getting robbed, he wasn't able to communicate, and so the robber shot him, and then the robber then threatened sexual assault against Bree, and right before it was able to happen, the police came. So they stopped it, but she still has like all these issues because of this. So if you haven't read, I just wanted to clarify like what we were talking about, and that is kind of a spoiler because we don't really find that out until a couple chapters in at least. So just to clarify, throw that out there.
Yes, absolutely. And she even said, I think when she was telling Archer, like she heard something and then she went to go check on her father. And then since he couldn't speak and he couldn't communicate to the robber, that I was like, okay, I'm going to get your money, you know? So he just kept signing, like run, like he kept signing, and the robber didn't know what he was doing and he was getting frustrated because he was high on whatever. And like, yeah, shot him and then found her, which, you know, Steph said like she was strong even though the trauma. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, even Travis was a real character. Travis,
yeah.
He was a real character, but like the real character, you didn't really want to like him.
No, he was a jerk. He was a two-faced jerk. He was nice to the people he could get something from, and then totally deplorable to his core. That's his real personality, and he just used people, and he was a real piece of work, and I wanted to I wanted to punch him.
Okay, so my biggest let's get into this. We're starting with this. So I don't know where to start. So first, the date with Travis. She already said she wasn't sure what to think of him. She already had kind of like this heebie-jeebie vibe from him. So I was kind of caught off guard. She went out with him. And then when she kissed him, I mean, she didn't really pull away too quickly. So that kind of was a weird dynamic to me. I don't know how everyone else felt. I wasn't really a big fan of that little interlude almost. That wasn't my favorite. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, she wasn't with Archer. They weren't dating. They weren't romantically involved. It was just a weird thing for me in the book. It didn't quite, you know, add up for me almost. I don't know if anyone else felt that way.
I totally get what you're saying. Like, yes, she wasn't involved with Archer at the time, but and then like you said, she was even getting weird vibes from the beginning, but she still went on a date with him. And during the date,
that's what got me. Like, she didn't like him at first. It's not like she said, oh, he's so attractive. I like this guy. He's flattering and he's so sweet. She didn't really gravitate towards him.
Right. And like, even during the date, like she was getting a little tipsy, you know? And so like she started to flirt a little bit. And then obviously, you know, Travis, one track mind's like, yeah, I'm getting some tonight. And then when she's like, when that alcohol, and then when the alcohol was wearing off and she's like, okay, you need to go. He was like, she even like said the one line, she's like, she saw something flash in his eyes, like anger. And I'm like, okay, that's your one clue that he's a total, you know, dill, you know, but.
And then the other big thing with Travis, we're going to get into this again, spoilers. So Bree is then with Archer. I mean, again, she had to end up with Archer. And so to me, this was the part in the book where like everything was going so well, everything was going perfectly. And the author was like, I'm going to throw my wrench in here now because we got to keep this plot moving. We got to add conflict and angst. We got to add something to mess up this relationship. And here comes Travis.
Right, right, exactly. Travis, that whole scene, guys' night out, that whole scene. Oh, I was so worried. Oh my God, I was so worried about Archer because he was totally out of his element, and he is so innocent. He's never been in that kind of situation before. He's never been with a woman, period, like even like talk to them because of, you know, his situation. And then what's Travis do? He goes and takes him to a strip club, and he's like basically pays someone to like give him a lap dance and a little extra, you know, if she feels like it.
Can I just point out as well, he's a cop. Can I just point out he's a cop? He should not be doing that.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes it even more just kind of just so skeevy to me, just because that he's a cop. Like, he has a moral obligation to do the right thing, and he doesn't.
So he's encouraging illicit, illegal activity. He's a cop. And he's doing this with Archer, who is like the most innocent human being on the face of the planet. He has no comprehension because he's isolated. It's not as if he just hasn't spoken to people. He hasn't interacted with them either. So it's very difficult for him to understand situations because he doesn't have the context. He doesn't have anything to compare it to. And so one of my biggest pet peeves, maybe not the biggest, but like one of the top 3, is the other women scenario. And so as soon as there's another woman for the hero, I'm just done. And so I think I just couldn't do it. So I needed to see what happened. I kind of knew he wasn't going to do anything, but I needed to know. I was not going to stop reading that part for anything because I needed to know my Archer was still my good guy. This is still why I like him. If he had done something with her, I would have been done with my Archer. Like, I just don't. The other women's storyline, when they throw that in there, it just really bothers me.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Seriously.
You also got so upset. She was texting me. She was reading. She goes, "Have you gotten to the stripper club? Have you gotten there yet?"
I was like, I need you to know the things I am feeling right now.
She was so upset. She's like, I need to text you.
Yeah, it was. That whole scene was just deplorable. Ash Hart's book said, I thought maybe she was trying to push herself to try to go on the date due to her past. Like, she was trying to move on, trying to be happy. I
get that. I fully support that decision. She wasn't with Archer, but why was it with Travis? That was my thing. I mean, they're not just 3 people in the town. I mean, there's other people in this town. It's a tourist attraction town, first of all. They're like, go out with one of the tourists. Why was it Travis? That's my little thing.
Yeah, seriously. Kristen Ashley says, Travis sounds like my ex. Keyword ex. Steph's angered me. Yep, absolutely, Steph. Ash Hart's books, the night out scene was just horrible to read. I was cringing, literally cringing. I was sitting, like, going like this, like, oh my gosh, this cannot end well.
Can I just ask, too, what's wrong with the scent of vanilla? Because it sounded as if that was a bad thing. The girl who, what was her name, Amber, the stripper, goes, and she really smelled like vanilla. What's wrong with vanilla?
I'm pretty sure she smelled like a lot like vanilla, like she overdid it because, you know, obviously strip club smells are terrible.
That really stuck out to me.
Probably trying to like mask it, and I'm like, I also get the vanilla, like the artificial vanilla scent is very like chemically to me, and I don't like it. Like, if it's natural vanilla, yes, I love vanilla, but like certain candles or like body spray or anything like that, I can't handle it. And oh my god, that scene, I just wanted to wrap Archer with the fluffiest blanket and protect him from Travis. Same. I wanted to protect my cinnamon roll.
I love how you call him that, by the way. She's been calling him that for the last couple of weeks, and that is my favorite thing just ever. I love how she calls him her cinnamon roll. It's so cute.
He is, right? He's just a cinnamon roll.
He really, I mean, I love him. He's my new book boyfriend. I'm not lying. He's my bookish beau. Archer's my guy now. Like, he's going to be on my, like, bookish boyfriend list. I loved him. Bree can, you know, again, I will learn sign language. I will help him work on his nice penmanship. Like, we will make it work. I'm not kidding. I love my Archer. But this scene, I kind of knew in the back of my head nothing was going to happen because, I mean, it just didn't seem like Archer. But the whole Travis really pushing it, and then he was trying to make him doubt Bree. That was something else as well, saying, oh, she's lying to you. Oh, she could never possibly like you. I mean, it was that really it almost bothered me more than the other stuff almost, with him trying to get him to do the other thing, because that to me I kind of knew wasn't going to happen, but he was messing with his psyche as well as his body. I mean, he was just really trying to mess with Archer on every level possible. I mean, not a good guy. Just not
like, he wasn't just like manipulating Archer, he was like attacking Bree as well and like totally breaking down her character. So like Archer was questioning it. You know, I'm like, no, don't question Bree, question Travis, because you know how Travis is. Travis is the one that has, you know, lied to you in the past and manipulated you in the past. You even told Bree when, before this even happened, you even told Bree that Travis was not a nice guy. You know, he just manipulates people. You know, that's his, you know, character flaw. That's his one motivation throughout the entire book, but you're believing it. I'm like, come on, like, what's going on?
I mean, in a way, I kind of, not that I get it, but it's one of those, once something's said, you can't take it back. And once you plant that little seed of doubt, I mean, once you say, don't think about the elephant in the room, you're thinking about that elephant in the room. I mean, or like, what is that? What's the saying? The pink elephant? Like, if someone says, don't think about a pink elephant, you automatically think about a pink elephant. So it's almost as if you don't really have to believe Travis, but because he's saying something about Bree, all of a sudden that thought is now there. It's so it's hard for it not to take root and seep into his mind. And so, I mean, even though, I mean, the source of who's saying this is a complete issue, I mean, don't trust Travis whatsoever. I'm not a Travis fan, but I mean, once you say something, that's going to cause doubt, or it's going to cause you to at least think about it. And once you start thinking about it, that is a very dangerous slope. So
I think it's because he already had probably that kernel of doubt, just because, you know, like he Max is like, I concur.
Yeah, he's like, I agree with Nicole. He's like, yeah, well,
just because like of his situation, he never really, you know, went out of his way to be friendly towards people. So the fact that, you know, Bree really gravitated towards him and tried to be his friend at first, he honestly didn't believe it. He's like, what does she want? She wants something. It has to be some ulterior motive. And so Travis just reiterating that and kind of just solidified his own thoughts, kind of, probably. I don't know.
I know. I mean, you guys in the comment section don't seem to like Travis. Who else were your favorite side characters? I mean, Travis was awful. Who did you like? Who did you not like? Who did you want more of in the story? I mean, comment away. Tell us your thoughts about those. The whole Travis storyline. And so, okay, I'm trying to think how to word this so I'm like so it's appropriate. But Travis and Bree, she's giving him a driving lesson, and things.
Oh my God.
It's a very Titanic, you know, the windows fogging up. I'm trying to be as politically correct here as possible. And so who catches them but Travis?
I'm like, of course he does. Of course. Why not? And I was like, leave them alone.
It was so funny to me because it was almost as if Archer was so happy. He's like, I got the girl. Nudge.
Oh my gosh. His like caveman instinct kind of came out, you know, and definitely he was like, hey, she's with me now, and like kind of giving Travis the smirk, and even like touching her at one point, like, you know, when they traded seats, he like kind of like put his hand on her thigh, and I'm just like, and like looked dead at him. He's like, this is my woman. And I was like, yes.
Oh, quick question. Was Archer born deaf? Would you like to answer this question?
I would. Archer was not born deaf. He's actually not deaf at all. He just can't speak because he had a very traumatic experience when he was very young. He actually got shot in the neck. So that's why he can't speak.
I will just say, too, we already talked about Bree's trauma. I really, really liked how they were kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, because the fight or flight situation that people tend to do, Bree, she didn't fight. She was scared. She froze. And then Archer, complete opposite. He's a young kid, and, you know, it's revealed it's his dad. Him, his mom, and his dad are trying to leave town away from her crazy husband who's abusive. He's awful. And so as they're leaving, the ex-husband, or the husband who's abusive, who they're trying to flee, he shoots at them, and Archer's like, I got this. I'm running at him. He was really brave. He had the complete opposite experience. And I thought that was a really great writing inclusion. I was really happy and impressed to see how they represented two characters completely differently, two different situations. I thought it really gave the book more depth. And so I liked how they had the two kind of different kind of situations play out. I mean, they're not situations. I mean, those events are both traumatic and awful, but they played out very differently. And so you got insights into their characters, and they weren't the same. And so it wasn't as if they both had the same situation. Things played out quite differently for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And Ash Hart's book says, I really loved her neighbor. I can't remember her name, but she was great. Absolutely, I agree. I loved her neighbor. She was so welcoming and didn't push her like too much. You know how like small town people can get kind of really intrusive and be like, hey, what's your business? Tell me all about it. And so I really liked her as well. Steph said, I loved all the older characters of the town. I love when she got a job at the diner. I loved the married couple, the cook. Oh my, the husband in the diner. What was his name?
Norm? Is his name Norm?
I think so, maybe. But like he was like, he just had like that gruff kind of like, don't talk to me kind of attitude, but then he really did care. Like there was like situations where, you know, it was like he was showing his love for Bree. And like he would like sit down and eat with her or be like, yeah, this is really good. This food is really good, when she started speaking or cooking in the diner. And that was just really cute. Ash Hart's books, I'm not going to lie, I kind of approved of the caveman attitude. Yeah, that's like a major, that's awesome for me.
Speaking of the caveman, as soon as I saw that comment, I was thinking about that scene when her friends come to visit and Archer can't say anything to this guy. He can't verbally say, this is my woman, get away from her. So he plants a hickey on her neck as the sign of kind of ownership or sign we're in a relationship. I thought that was hysterical.
Yes, I loved it.
I thought that was so funny. He was like, I can't say anything, so I will do something.
Absolutely. Like I like the series, like the base instinct of a man is just like mark your territory, and he did. He was like, this is my woman, back up.
It was so funny, though, to me, because I didn't realize at first what happened. And then when she said it, I went, oh, that, like, I get it. I didn't think of it in that way until she called him on it. And then it just kind of clicked for me. I thought that was hysterical. Archer did have a little caveman in him. He really did. But it was interesting to see how it played out because, again, this is a romance book club. We read romance novels. It doesn't always play out like this. This was an entirely unique situation because usually they're yelling, they start fights. That's kind of the go-to alpha-esque caveman scenario. But Archer wasn't like that. So I thought it was interesting how Mia Sheridan got creative about how he showed his alpha-like tendencies.
I agree. Totally. Swoons at the caveman scene. Yeah, definitely. Just anytime, like when I'm reading a romance, whenever they kind of show like that alpha, you know, I don't know. God, it just gets me.
So this isn't the alpha situation, but the scene where I fell in love with Archer and he stole my heart completely was one of the most random scenes in the book. He went through multiple bags of potato chips to find folded over potato chips because those were Bree's favorite. He went through the bags, multiple bags. He found the potato chips that she liked and put them in one bowl just for her. And I was like, this is the sweetest human being
ever.
That stole my heart because he noticed such a small detail about what she liked, and then he tried to make it happen for her, and he did. He went through how many bags of potato chips to find the one she liked, and I thought that was so cute and sweet and thoughtful. I was like, I love you.
I know, like that's like so, like that's like such, first of all, a random kind of tick to have, like you like the folded over potato chips, but the fact that he noticed it and then went out of his way to make sure those were the only chips in the bowl for her. And I'm like, huh? Yeah, seriously.
I emailed myself that passage because it was just so cute to me. I couldn't not mark this. This entire passage is highlighted in my book because my entire heart was just melting. I could not believe how sweet and adorable and thoughtful that was. Because, I mean, it's also good writing. I've never seen something like that in another romance novel. Yes, there's usually the thoughtful act. They do something kind and try and show her they care about, you know, the heroine. They love her. They demonstrate their feelings somehow. But when he ever went through the multiple bags, and he didn't even say anything. This is the other thing I really loved about the scene. He didn't say, look what I did. She's eating the potato chips, and all of a sudden she realizes, hey, wait a second, these are all folded. He wasn't doing it for credit or saying, hey, look what I brought you, honey. She realized it on her own, looked down and said, hey, wait a second, did you do this? And he goes, of course, those are the ones you like. It was just such a sweet scene to me. I loved it.
Absolutely. I totally agree. He never pointed it out. He wasn't looking for any kind of recognition. He just did it because he knew that she preferred those chips. And I'm like, where can I buy one of these? I mean, where can I get an Archer?
She looks and she says, all these chips, they're folded. I said, thinking I sounded crazy. I mean, she's looking down the potato chips thinking, what just happened here? These are the ones I like. And he's like, aren't those the ones you like? And that's when she realizes he went through several bags of potato chips to collect the ones she liked the best. I mean, what guy does that? I mean,
who does that?
My bookish boyfriend, that's who.
That's who. Yeah, Archer.
I mean, I could not mark this passage. I had to keep this. And when you said you were going to cry at that scene, I think I did cry when I first read this because they're already falling in love. It's already very sweet. And somehow these little details just make it seem so much more deep, and it gives their relationship this whole new level. And again, it makes me fall in love with Archer just a little bit more every time. I mean, to me, like scenes like this is why I really enjoyed the book. It wasn't this just, grand, the grand gesture at the end when he's holding up the boombox. No, it was the entire way through the book.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like, yes, their relationship is progressing and they're getting to know each other and they're having like, oh, the lovey-dovey, moments and stuff. It's the little stuff like that kind of make, like, if you had any kind of walls at all, they're just going to start crumbling down at this point, just because those are the little moments that are just so sweet. You can't predict them, and they just kind of worm your way into your heart, and it's just so sweet.
So what are your favorite moments from Archer? When did you fall in love with him? What were your favorite scenes? You got to tell us, because I just told you mine, and it was such a random scene, but that's one of my faves. So tell us, comment away. What was your favorite scene? You got to tell me.
My favorite scene is definitely when he walks a mile from his house to her house during the thunderstorm, because she gets scared during the thunderstorms because the trauma happened during a thunderstorm and she can't hear the storm and not think about that night. And so he's like, he didn't even want to come inside. He was like, I'll just sit out here on the porch just so you know that I'm here and you won't be alone. And it's raining, it's pouring, he's soaking wet. And he's like, I don't want to come in. I want you to know that I'm here. I'm going to sit out here. And I was like, oh my gosh, Bree, if you don't pull that man in your house, you're an idiot.
I mean, I have to admit that was one, I feel as if it's really hard to choose a favorite scene because they're all just, top notch with Archer because he's such a sweetheart. I was crying at that scene. I know online, I forget who said it on Twitter, but they said they didn't cry. And I was totally a mess when I was reading that scene because you have to have kissing in the rain. There always has to be a scene with the rain. There just needs to be, it has to happen. So we had the rain, but he walked in the rain, and he was just, again, with the potato chips, he doesn't want credit. He just wants to do the right thing. And that's why I think Archer is so endearing. He doesn't care about, the credit, the kudos of like, hey, I'm doing this for you. He just genuinely cares. And I think the way it's portrayed in the book is, again, so well done through the details. I love that scene. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and it also just made me think of the scene in Pride and Prejudice when Mr. Darcy is walking like dawn, and it's like the mist, and he's just in that coat. I'm like, oh my gosh, man.
Like, how badly did you want to be Elizabeth Bennet or Keira Knightley in that scene? Because
God, I hated her for the longest time. I'm like, you're okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you hated Elizabeth Bennet. Oh. I wanted to just be her. I relate to her.
Yeah, exactly. Be her or replace her, I'm not sure.
Going back to Archer in that scene, I think it was kind of really nice how their relationship was able to take a bad memory and turn it into a positive one, because that's the night, her and Archer took things to the next level, again, being very vague and politically correct about this. That's when they, upped the ante in the relationship. And so they turned, and it was, again, it's not turning the negative into positive, but they're changing her memory, her experience, and how she perceives something. So
Yes, absolutely. Very sweet. Lady Gizmo, Darcy knows how to walk. So true.
I use that GIF on Twitter way too much.
Oh gosh, you can't. You can't not, you know, it's just, it's such a good, oh, I don't know. Like, just being the director, how would you direct him? Like, I need you to walk like this. And then he proceeds to walk like this. And I'm like, how are you even walking? I don't know how you're even walking.
Moors to Keira Knightley standing there thinking and realizing she's in love with you. It all adds up, the climactic moment. And then when she kisses his hand, every time, you know, she takes his hand in hers. Oh. Well, this actually leaves us, we were getting, you know, I mean, this conversation is very all over the place, but we might as well talk about this now. So Nicole, because she's the lovely human being that she is, she named the club after me. And so I wanted to name something after her. And so we are going to have a Who Picked This Movie night. So we will do a romance movie watch along once a month as well. And would you like to tell them why I'm mentioning this now?
I was, when you messaged me about that, I just, I'm probably blushing now. But yes, you wanted to name a Who Picked This Movie kind of thing that we're going to do. And our first movie is going to be Pride and Prejudice, because how could it not be, you know, Pride and Prejudice?
So she again, like, we were messaging back and forth, and so she goes, well, do you have any recommendations? And this is after she said Pride and Prejudice, and I go, well, now that you said Pride and Prejudice, I want to watch Pride and Prejudice. That is my recommendation. You can't beat Pride and Prejudice. You just can't. No, it's just not going to happen. So we are going to have a, I am freezing some reason. I don't know if that's happening on your end or not. But we're going to have a movie watch along. So I think Nicole is going to be an amazing, you know, we need to name something after her. We just need it to happen. And which version? The 2005 version. Talking about walking across the moors here. I mean, we got Colin Firth going into the pond with his wet shirt. That's a totally different Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, that also, I think that the BBC miniseries version would actually take too long, even though I love it. Don't even get me wrong. I love that version.
Is it 4 or 6 hours? It's long. I don't remember.
6 hours, I think.
I haven't seen it in a couple of years. I mean, I've seen it a lot, but I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
I mean, yeah, but that would take a little bit too long. So we're actually going to do the 2005 movie with Keira Knightley, Pride and Prejudice. Yes.
I know. I'm really looking forward to this. So you got, this is actually a perfect lead-in. I mean, I had a note down on, you know, in front of me to mention this near the end of our live stream, but this worked out perfectly. You know, we're talking about walking across the moors in the rain, so things fall into place.
Lady Gizmo, I'll make popcorn. Yes, definitely. It's gonna be fun. Thank you for thinking of me and having this wonderful idea. She has like the best ideas. Like, I don't know if you know this about Angela. She has fantastic ideas. And you just thought of me, and that was really sweet. And I just thought that's a fantastic idea, because if there's anything I love, like I love books, it's movies. I love movies. So I love this idea, and I'm very excited for that. And what we decided on the 20th, was it?
It's not next week, it's the following Tuesday, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Nicole, she, you know, she's reading romance novels. She has one of the best marriages. She's hashtag relationship goals. They're celebrating their anniversary, so she cannot do next Tuesday. So
yes,
around her romantic getaway, we, you know, happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's actually tomorrow.
Aw, so perfect timing, right? We're talking about romance novels. She's living a romance novel. Works out great.
My romance novel, yes, my husband, he is my own cinnamon roll. He is a wonderful man. I love him so much. We've been together for 13 years, married for 9, and it's only gotten better, people. I'm telling you.
Again, hashtag relationship goals. That every time she talks about her husband, it just she lights up. You can tell it's just the sweetest thing ever. So because
now I'm blushing. Oh my god.
Because she has her anniversary the following Tuesday, not next week, the following Tuesday, she is leading us in on a watch along. And so I believe, yes, Max, he's all down for it. I believe I was going to ask if you guys wanted us to use the current Twitter account, Romantics at Heart, or if you'd like me to create a new one, or if Nicole would like to create a new one, because we already put the other one in place. So if you wanted to just use the hashtag Who Picked This Movie, so we're going to ask you that. So
Yeah, that's totally, I mean, I'm down for whatever. I can totally create, second Twitter account. So that would just be, it's easier. I don't know if it would be easier for you guys to follow if it's a separate Twitter account from Romantics at Heart, or we can use the hashtag Who Picked This Movie. Totally up to you guys, whatever is easier for you. Thank you, everyone who's wishing me happy anniversary. You guys are so sweet. Mwah. Kristen Ashley, oh, I'm going to die alone. No, you won't. There's someone out there for everybody. You haven't met your Mr. Darcy yet. He'll come along. He's walking. He's just taking a really long walk. It's just so long for him to get you. He'll make it, I promise.
That was the best response ever. Oh my god, that just made my day. That was awesome. Because she's doing the little hand signals. Yeah, he's making his way to you. That is so awesome.
Also, okay, so people are saying use the same account, just different hashtags. I think that's the conclusive.
We can do that. I mean, I've been having the best time tweeting quotes from Archer's voice. I mean, I've been really going at it with this Twitter account. I've been having the best time with it because it's so much fun to use the Am Reading Romance hashtag, and so it's so much fun to just see what's there and participate with it. I mean, I love having this Twitter account. It makes me so happy. I get to go be myself.
I love reading all this stuff that you post. I'm just like, yeah, she is on fire.
That actually reminds me. I posted this on the Goodreads group. I asked what your favorite quotes were, and so I wanted to ask. I asked you what your favorite scenes were. What are your favorite scenes? What are your favorite quotes? I mean, you got to tell me because I think every line in this book was just spot on. I mean, yes, the scene with Travis, we don't like that scene, so that, those lines read differently. But in regards to their romance and just the dialogue, I mean, what were your favorite lines, scenes? You gotta let me know because I feel like I'm really fangirling hard over here, so I need to know I'm not alone. Gotta tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think like you hit the ground running with this and I love it. First of all, I'm just like, yes, more. And I just retweet everything, like retweet.
Oh yeah, that reminds me, if you guys have any romance book review videos, if you post blogs about a romance novel or you have something romance genre related, I should specify. If you have something romance genre related, just DM me or let me know. I mean, I don't catch everything on Twitter. I wish I did. Certain things, pass me by, and I apologize if that's the case. But if you ever have something and I haven't retweeted it, give me a day. You don't have to DM me, in the next 5 minutes. So, give me a little bit. If I haven't, done anything in the next day, drop me a line, say, hey, I posted a video on my channel. I did a book review of this, romance novel. Would you mind? Just let me know. I want romance to take over BookTube. I want romance to be on Twitter. I want to help promote your, your romance ambitions and loves, and just drop me a line. I'd love to help.
Steph's entire channel, Steph's Rom Book Talk. She just specifically about romance genre, and that's what I love about her channel. I've been watching her for a while, probably. If not since I've started my channel, like very soon after, because she is definitely mostly romance genre, and she's great. I'm just like, every time I watch one of her videos, I'm like, okay, I have to read that now. I have to read that now.
I think I've been retweeting. I know you're here, Steph. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been catching your stuff lately. Again, like I don't catch it. Next 5 minutes. I'm not always sitting there staring at my phone. Contrary to what you might think, I'm not always looking at my phone. As much as I tweet, I'm not just looking at it. So if I haven't, drop me a line. But I do know I have caught the last few for Steph. So if you guys ever, want to celebrate romance in some way, let me know.
Kristen Ashley just put, there's a meme that's like, my prince isn't riding a horse, he's riding a turtle. Oh, that's so funny. And then
I just thought of Finding Nemo with that turtle where he's the surfer dude.
Yes.
You just didn't think of that.
Kristen Ashley wants to start writing romantic type poetry. Ooh, if you need a beta reader, pick me.
You're so cute. You're like, I'm already like, I don't care what it is as long as I know it's romance.
Yeah, seriously.
I feel like I was going to say something. I just lost it. I was going to ask
you. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No. I was going to say something after you about what you just said. It was just so cute. I know there is, I think we're going to talk, I was going to say something about writing romance and I just lost it. Oh, well. Oh. But yeah, if you guys ever want to talk about stuff, just let us know.
I'm going to go through, because I made some notes. I made some notes. I'm trying.
I love the little sound effects, the little noises she makes. They're so cute.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was going to say, if you guys want to, comment about Archer at all, just let us know. I want to know your favorite scenes, lines, characters, dialogue. You got to tell me in the comment section. Just trying to ground this back in that. Has anyone read anything else by Mia Sheridan? Have you seen her? Have you listened to her? Do you follow her on Twitter? I mean, we got to try to just ground this a little bit back in Archer. So let us know.
I need to do all of those things. I want to read literally everything by Mia Sheridan.
So for our next book, I was looking at some of the other ones she wrote, but they don't have the same ratings per se. They do have high ratings, but they're different content-wise. They're different reviews listed. So I did not choose that or choose one of her books for my next 2 picks to submit tonight. But I was looking at those. I think it was Midnight Lily or something. That was the one I was really looking into. But I have very specific standards for romance novels. I get very particular. And so I was reading some of the reviews and I kind of had that moment of, I'll save this one for later. So if you guys have read anything else by her, make sure you let us know because I want to know your thoughts.
Steph says she's met her a few years ago. Jealous, but I haven't read anything by her. Okay.
Oh yeah, have you met any of your favorite romance writers? Because Tuesday night I met Eloisa James last Tuesday.
I was so jealous. I'm like, girl.
That last Tuesday, my Tuesday nights are becoming romance themed. Last Tuesday night, I live in DC, and so Eloisa James, Beverly Jenkins, Mia Sosa, and Lisa Kleypas, they were at Politics and Prose here in DC, and I met all 4 of them. It was so cool. It was the best night ever. It was awesome. So if you have met romance writers, you got to tell me because I was fangirling so hard because to me, these are my celebrities. These are my celebrities. Eloisa James is my girl. I love her so much. And when I did a couple selfies with her, I was so excited. She was so cute. I love her.
Yeah, I was so jealous when I saw that picture. I'm like,
First of all, their conversation before the signing, they were talking about feminism and romance novels. They're talking about consent. They were talking about all these great, important things. So the conversation, again, you have these amazing women on a panel. It's going to go well. So the conversation was great. And then I got to meet them. And I was fangirling so hard. I like to think I can be eloquent. No, that did not happen. No.
You also met Lisa Kleypas, didn't you?
Yeah, I fangirled really hard for her.
I love her so much. It's not,
she made my life. She said I reminded her of one of her romance heroines. So again, I don't know why I dressed up. I was feeling really good. I kind of put like similar curls in my hair, and she goes, "You're exactly how I pictured my character, especially your hair. I love your hair." And so she's looking at me, and she's like, "You're so pretty. You're so gorgeous." And she starts gushing. Honestly, God, I was like blushing so hard, and that's when I think I was mute. I could not talk. I was just like, "Oh my God, I look like one of your heroines." I don't even remember which heroine it was because at that point there was just ringing in my ears because
that's what I was gonna ask you next. I'm like, which one? I've read all of her books. Oh my God.
As soon as she said that, I just checked out. I just kind of went blank, like, what did you say? I could not form a coherent, or I could not do anything. I loved her so much. And then I did a couple pictures with her, and she goes, "I could stand by you all night. You smell so good." And I'm like, "I can stand by you all night if you let me. I will be your shadow. I will follow you anywhere." But like when she saw that, she just kept shining and showering me with compliments. I'm like, "I love you even more. You're such a kind human being." I'm like, "I love you, Lisa Kleypas." I'm like, "Adopt me. Doesn't matter that I'm old and I can adopt people." I'm like, "You need to adopt me. I love you." She was so sweet. Honest to God, it was the best night. Yes, to Lisa Kleypas. She's amazing. And so it's so great. This is something about romance I think I've noticed. So these authors, they're so amazing at their job is writing, but they're great people. She was so sweet. You're going to Polycon in DC? You're going to be in DC? I didn't get tickets to Polycon. I just saw that pop up.
Oh my gosh, I would love to be able to go to that. Oh. A Polycon. Yep. What's your favorite Lisa Kleypas book? The first book, and also my favorite, is Stranger in My Arms, I believe. And I loved that book. But, sorry, tangent, going back to what Angela said, that Lisa said you look like one of her heroines. I want to say, like, I know, but it's because you remind me of this heroine so much. Her name is Winifred Hathaway from the Hathaway series. And I don't know if you've read that book, but she has, like, blonde hair like you, like curly and stuff. And that is my favorite book of the Hathaway series. It's called, what is it? Hold on. Seduce Me at Sunrise. I love that book. And I was like,
that
yeah.
might be it, because I kind of, my hair doesn't usually curl, so like when it's like this, I'm always, you know, very amazed that it stays. My hair is naturally very, very straight, and so I use my straightening iron to curl my hair. And so I was, you know, I put on my makeup, I did, you know, I tried to look nice. I want to, you know, going out, I'm going to my romance panel, I want to look nice, I want to, you know, feel good about myself. And so when she did a double take, first of all, when she first saw me, and
Oh my gosh.
as soon as she did the double take, I went, how did I upset Lisa Kleypas? What did I do? Like, I mean, I'm pretty much always deer in headlights, like 80% of my life. So, I mean, that's pretty much my natural disposition. And so when she did the double take, I kind of got startled. I didn't know why she did that. And then when she said that, I thought, I was like, what? I just couldn't comprehend my life at that point. I was like, I love you, Lisa. Like,
I love you so much.
If that's the story, I don't think, because I haven't read all of her stuff, and now I'm, you know, now that I love her and I'm, you know, dedicated to her,
Yeah.
I need to go buy the rest of her books. I mean, she's talented, and I already have quite a few of them, but I don't have all of them. But if you think that's the one, now I want to know which character I apparently look like, because she's like, your hair is exactly how I imagined it. I mean, when an author says you look like their imaginary character, and you look like the author, what do you do with that?
You swoon, apparently. Yeah, totally. I'm jealous. I'm trying to look for that book because it's going to drive me crazy now. Doodle-doodle-doo.
See, Lisa Kleypas and Eloisa James are both my favorites. I just saw Ash Hart's books. Lisa Kleypas is a great historical romance writer, and I also love my Eloisa James. I love Beverly Jenkins. I just started reading more of hers. I haven't read Indigo yet, but I'm going to. I know that was your pick last month.
Yes, I want to read that so bad. I really want to read, like, literally everything by her.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not going to a Polycon. I heard about it like after the fact, so I didn't get a ticket, which is sad because I live in DC and it's gonna be so close. I honestly just that kind of escaped me, and so I wish I had gotten a ticket. I mean, it's so close. It's sad to me that I'm not gonna be able to go. But I hope you guys have fun, and you're gonna have to post a lot of pictures and keep me informed about how it goes.
I just posted in the comments what my favorite Lisa Kleypas book is, A Stranger in My Arms. That's the first book I ever read by her, so I started off on a high note.
I had to move my leg, and he got mad at me. He goes, why are you moving? He's mad at me.
He's mad.
Well, you're sitting in the chair, we're doing the live stream. He's on my lap the whole time. I'm not kidding. And then he gets mad that I have to adjust how I'm sitting, my posture. He gets mad. I know. So if you guys, is there anything like Archer's voice? I think I asked you this on Twitter. If you guys know of anything like Archer's voice, I would love to have that recommendation, because again, I am gushing over here. I am fangirling hard. So you got to tell me if there's another book like Archer, if there's another character like Archer, someone has a similar writing style to Mia. I need to know these things. I need to know.
Me too, because honestly, as I was reading this book, I felt like I have never read a book like this, and I would love to read more.
Oh, can we just talk about this? So I just looked down and found one of my notes. So
yes, let's talk about it. Whatever it is.
I don't know if you guys, if you cared. I mean, okay, let's move. I'm gonna take a step back first. First of all, Archer got shot for Bree. I mean, he actually took a bullet for her. So I mean, love, true love. He took a bullet for her. I mean, you don't get much more dedicated or in love than taking a bullet for someone. But
that is true love.
He takes the bullet, and then the next chapter, the opening line is, "The whole town gathered to honor Archer Hale."
I was so mad. I was like, no, romance has happily ever afters. This cannot be how this is going.
So I read that and I had this moment of, no, I didn't even get nervous. I got really angry. My emotions, I got angry. I was so upset because I just couldn't get there. I remember, this might be why too. I was reading another romance book a couple months back, and the main character, she went into labor. It was really difficult labor, and so they're saying how she's hemorrhaging, and you know, she has all these other complications with her pregnancy. And then the next chapter, the little girl's asking her dad, "Do you miss mommy?" And so that was
Nicholas Sparks book, because I felt like that's exactly Nicholas Sparks.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sparks. So it was. I think it might have been like a dark or a romance novel. I can look it up and put it on Twitter. And so the little girl asks her daddy, "Do you miss mommy?" And so they have this entire 2-page dialogue about missing mommy. And then mommy comes walking down the stairs because she was in her office working.
You're like, that's not even funny, first of all.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really stayed with me ever since I've read that particular scene and that particular, book. I kind of was like going, really? This is unnecessary. Because I wasn't buying it. It wasn't working for me in the first place. I wasn't actually sad, or I didn't know what to do with that, because it just, again, this is romance. It has a happily ever after guarantee. And so when mommy's missing, I didn't know what to do with that. Same thing with Archer. The whole town gathered to honor Archer Hale. Did you guys get upset? Like, what did you think of this? Did you cry?
Steph says I wanted to throw my phone at that point. Yes. Oh my gosh. If I wasn't reading this on my iPad, it would have went in the freezer.
You just reminded me of Joey on Friends. Whenever a book gets scary, he puts it in the freezer.
Puts it in the freezer. I've done that lots of times. Honest
to goodness, I did not know what to do with that. I kind of went, really, Mia? Like, this is what we're doing now? I mean, it was like the strip club scene. It was almost, the wrench was thrown in there. And so I didn't know what to do with this scene.
Yeah, it was like, we already had our wrench. We're moving on. This is supposed to be where our happily ever after goes.
So I need to know your thoughts. What would you have done? What were you doing? I mean, we have a phone almost being thrown, and please don't throw your phone. Just, expensive.
Or do it if it makes you feel better.
If it's a cheap phone, it's, disposable. I'm not going to judge you. Just, have fun. It's your life. It's your phone, your property. Yes, he does shining little women. Thank you for getting my Friends reference. I said that. So during one of my oral exams, they were talking about changing how technology changes your life, and the way just how technology is integrated and how you respond to technology and you alter yourself for it. And I made a Joey reference. I said in Friends how he made the comment about how all your furniture is always pointed to the television because that's the focal point of your living room now. And so I'm pretty sure that went right over my professor's head. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh my god!
I was like, a bad thing, but it was a joke, and the professor was like,
well. Alrighty. That didn't go very well.
It was a bad joke, but it was a Friends-related joke. Apparently, academics don't watch Friends. I'm excluded from that, though.
I just want to point out Ash Hart's books. In some ways, I thought Making Faces by Amy Harmon was a bit similar. I love that one, so I wrote it down because I'm not making the mistake again of not writing down the recs. And then, is it Maras de la Paz? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but she mentioned Annie's Song, and that is a, if I'm not mistaken, that's a Catherine Anderson book, and I love her so much, and I love that book. So, yes, go read it because it's amazing. Ash Hart's books, I felt like I just froze for a minute and didn't know what to do, and then basically peeked through my fingers to see if it was okay.
I mean, we've established Archer is like one of the loves of my literary life. Like, I love him. I love Archer. And then he's your cinnamon roll, or your cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll.
Your cinnamon roll. And so, I mean, let's be real. I mean, if something happened to Archer, my review would be very, very different.
Oh, absolutely.
If this was a walk to remember, and we lost half of our literary couple here.
Oh my gosh, a walk to remember. Oh my gosh, I can't even at this point. But yeah, if we lost Archer, I feel like I would have had a heart attack. A. B, definitely my review of it would be so much worse. I'm like, you made me fall in love with this character, first of all, and then you take him away from me, so I can't go back and reread this book and enjoy it because I know what's going to happen. No, it's because, oh, I would be so mad.
Yeah, I would not be gushing over this book. I would not be fangirling this hard if something happened to my Archer. It wouldn't happen.
Kristen Ashley, there would have been so many angry tweets. Definitely. Steph said, I was listening on Audible, so I couldn't throw it. There is a heart-wrenching scene in The Right Mistake by K.A. Is it Lind? That was my last time if feeling this way. Oh, okay. So, heart-wrenching. Okay, I'm going to write down that book too. Hold on.
See, this is why I love romance. Ash Hart's books, yes, we have our guaranteed happily ever after. So I saw about the whole town gathering to honor Archer Hale. I was just, what?
I felt like I was cheated.
I mean, you have to keep reading at that point to see why he's getting honored. You have to keep reading. But I mean, I was not going to be happy if he did not. I was not going to be a happy camper. No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we need to talk about. I mean, the conversation, we've already talked about the movie. We've talked about how, our love of Archer. Is there anything else about this book you guys wanted us to talk about and, explore? Because I feel like there's so much to it. So if you have questions, thoughts, comments, type away, please. I want to know your thoughts about this book. I want to know your questions. Just please type. Please let us know.
I love when the title kind of comes into play, and the fact that his name is Archer. In the first paragraph we have, this is where my first note is, the very first page of this book. They talk about centaurs in the
I tweeted that.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I love that, first of all. And Sagittarius, if you guys don't know, is Latin for the archer. And so it kind of, I love when that happens. It kind of just makes everything come full circle for me when the title of the book just is in the book, and it just makes like that full sense, and I just love it. So I'm just like, that was my first like mention of this book. I was like, I have to write this down. Like, they mentioned Sagittarius, which is the constellation. It's not just, your zodiac sign, it's actually Latin for the archer. And I just loved it.
So this is, again, I really liked the writing. I thought the writing was very clever. I mean, everything from the dialogue to the inner monologue to, incorporating the minor details like the potato chips to having those gut-wrenching scenes to, again, having things like this. It was very well researched. It was very well written. Again, I'm gushing over this book because I really enjoyed it. And, details like that are why. So. Absolutely.
Another scene where my heart kind of like started beating like a little flutter in my chest is the scene where Archer and Bree first met, and she kind of like dropped her groceries everywhere, and Archer was like helping her pick them up, and he like had no qualms like whatsoever about handing her back tampons because
he didn't know what they were, because I mean, he lived in his house with his uncle, or no, was it the other uncle, and he's never been around women. Like, he might not have even realized what he was handing her.
What tampons are. Exactly. But I'm just like, if any man can handle feminine products without like cringing, marry him.
I mean, I loved how, again, the details, we kind of come back around. And so Bree knew it down. I mean, she had candy bars, and she was planning on going home and eating her candy bars. And so she's embarrassed about the number of candy bars. She's embarrassed about her tampons. And she gets red-faced. She gets flustered. And that was really touching to Archer. My heart just melted when he said, you made me feel like a real person in that moment, because nobody had gotten embarrassed like that in front of him before. Like, he had an effect on them. And I thought it was really sweet the way, I mean, Bree was new to town, so she didn't know his entire backstory with his parents and the loss and the accident. So she didn't know all these things. And even then, it wouldn't have mattered to her. But I mean, she was new. And so he had that moment of, here's someone, doesn't know anything about me, and she's treating me like a real human being for the first time in years. That scene, it was so simple, but it was really impactful for him as a character. And I thought it was really great when he referred back to it later, saying, you made me feel like a real person.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And he even like references back to that scene, like numerous times, like, made me feel like a real person, because everyone in town kind of shies away from him or doesn't actually know how to talk to him and just kind of avoids him because that's just easier for them. And the fact that, you know, Bree actually, even though, like, that's probably why she was so forthcoming and so, like, talkative with him, because she didn't know his backstory. But the fact that that happened, it just made him feel like not such an outsider, not such a loner, and not like such, like, quote unquote freak, you know? And honestly, I just love that scene. I was laughing so hard because she was rambling about those candy bars, and she was like, "Oh, I'm only going to eat like one a week or whatever." And she's like, "That's not true. I'm going to eat like all of them when I go home." I'm like, "Girl, same. I would eat all of those candy bars."
Oh, that's how I feel like, you know, I mean, sometimes if I do takeout or delivery, you know, you pretend there's another person or something. I mean, it's one of those situations where, you know, you feel awkward or uncomfortable. But I really did love, again, these little details, these little scenes. I mean, they mattered so much to him as a character, and in turn, they mattered to me. I mean, he wasn't shaming her for eating the candy bars either. I mean, you know, love this guy.
He wasn't.
I mean, he was just so sweet with her. And I don't know if her not knowing his story was a factor. I mean, I think because she had her own trauma, she probably would have been more amenable to it. She wouldn't have been, you know, as standoffish. I don't think her character would have changed that much. But I think for Archer, that was kind of a big deal because she's the first person in town who's not looking at him as the traumatized little boy and shying away from him because he's got that grown beard and he's got his hair out and he's looking like a little homeless hobo.
Yes.
And that haircut scene, I mean, she gives him a haircut. I mean, it was so, I mean, I loved it. I mean, I love this book. I mean, I love that scene. And I liked that he trusted her enough to, you know, do whatever look she wanted. I mean, he was like, yeah, you have complete control.
And never has a haircutting scene been more erotic.
I thought it was great. At the end of my ebook, I don't know if everyone else had this as well, they had the scene from Archer's point of view. So in the book, we have Bree's point of view for that particular scene. And then there's an additional bonus scene at the end of my edition where it's told from Archer's perspective. And I loved it. I loved it.
Too. I loved it. And there's another thing, like when he's all like shaggy and like bearded, and just the fact that, you know, his name is Archer and they talk about Sagittarius. I don't know if anybody watches the TV show Arrow with Stephen Amell, but I thought of Stephen Amell in that particular moment. I was like, I could see it.
When he's on the island and he's, you know, trying to.
Yeah.
I'm not a big CW viewer. I don't really watch a lot of CW shows, but I did watch the first season of that
one. I think like most of the shows that I watch are on the CW.
I mean, I'm not a big superhero, you know, viewer. I mean,
I love comic books, so that would be probably why I watch all of them.
You what?
I love comic books, so that would probably be why I watch all of them.
I mean, I've seen them. Don't get me wrong. I just don't watch it on like a weekly basis. Whenever they go to Netflix or, you know, Supernatural gets a new season, same thing with The Flash. I usually watch them on Netflix. I usually don't watch shows as they air. I very rarely tune in, you know, weeknight at, you know, 8:30 on the dot or something. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those on demand the following day. I'll eat, you know, I'm eating lunch and I put it on or something. So that's me. A little insight into my life.
Yeah. I actually am one of those people that, you know, I'm tuning in like right as it airs, and then I'm also that person who gets frustrated because I have to wait a week to watch the next episode.
I can't do it either because my schedule is always so in flux, because if I get something for school or whatever, I don't want to put that pressure on myself. The only thing I usually watch live would be The Bachelor, and I didn't even watch The Bachelor this year because it's Ari. I mean, I was just not, I mean, I don't know. But I watched The Bachelor Winter Games. That's about the only thing I tuned into live. Everything else I usually watch the following day on demand. You need to get on Arrow.
Netflix, baby. Yes, Steph. Yes. Stephen Amell will be at Awesome Con at the end of March. Yeah, I would love to go to that. That would be amazing.
I think I saw the first, I know I saw the first season, I think, as it aired. I don't know if I made it past, I know Felicity got shot. I think when Felicity got shot and got put in the wheelchair.
Spoiler alert.
I think that was when I stopped. And I know she was and everything, but like still, I think that was when they lost me because I was a Felicity girl.
Oh, I love Felicity. You definitely need to continue watching, by the way. I think that's like season 4.
I might have made it farther than I think I originally thought. As soon as I said that, I was like, wait a second, because I know he got through his list that he wanted to be redeemed.
Yeah, I think that's like, I think she got shot in season 4. But
this is not related to Archer anymore.
Not at all. Well, kind of. It's a tangent.
I mean, I think we would have to do another movie watch along if Archer was ever made into a movie. I know they have the movie rights. I know they have that. If you go on IMDb, nobody is cast. They have no updates. I was trying to hunt this down. But if anyone else knows about the Archer movie, you got to keep us informed. I mean, the second you get information, you have to tweet at me because I need to know this stuff.
It's probably like we're going to just be stalking that.
Get a Google alert going or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Something there. I know you have more notes.
I did. I'm kind of looking through them right now. Honestly, they're just talking, a lot of them are talking about how I hate Travis. And then the one scene where we find out that he didn't actually like sleep with that stripper. He just kind of was like, he left before anything bad happened. I'm like, thank God, because oh my gosh, because I was remembering what you said. Like you said, like you hate like the cheating kind of.
That's when they lose me. There's something about the other women's situation. I don't even like. I get very specific with my romance novels here, people. I am not kidding. My standards for romance novels are they're very high. If the hero meets the heroine and he's attracted to her, and then he goes out with someone else and something happens, I just immediately I just start docking stars. I can't take it. I cannot do that. It bothers me so much. I think it's one thing. If he's in a relationship or something when he meets the heroine and things slowly progress and it's nice. There's nothing cheating wise and everything is on the up and up. That's a different situation. I've read those books. But as soon as there's another woman, another scene like that, I just shut down. I just can't do it.
So I was very scared up until the point where he's like, oh, I didn't sleep with her. I was like, thank God, because Angela would blow her lid.
It's my biggest pet peeve because I have a thing about cheating. And so that's my no. That's my, no, like, nope, not going to handle this. Can't do it. And then I get mad. And then
I do too. I totally get it.
But like, I never recover. I never get over my anger because I go, you're the guy who cheated on her. No, even if it's just emotionally cheating, even if they're not together, but he's in love with her and he's with another woman. And I mean, I've read these books. I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. These are realistic.
It's happened. Lady Gizmo and Steph, good night. Thank you for joining us.
You have to go see This Is Us. I don't blame you.
Oh my gosh. No spoilers because I've only watched like half of the first season and like rips my heart out. So emotionally.
I have to ask you, what is your romance pet peeve? Because the other woman thing is probably my biggest or one of my biggest. Do you have
romance pet peeve?
Or what are your romance? You got to tell us in the comment section too. What are your romance? Just can't deal with it in a romance novel. You got to tell me because I'm being honest and laying mine out there for you.
Honestly, oh gosh, like I'm not thinking of anything on the top of my head. The only thing I'm really thinking of is like weird fetishes. I see most of that when I'm reading like erotic romance of like if it's like a weird fetish book, I'm like I can't. I just can't.
We have to call him daddy, like the daddy.
Oh God, I was thinking exactly that word. Oh my God. Okay, I messaged you that I was reading that Madison Faye series. Did I messaged you about that?
Yeah,
and I read that. I read the series, loved it, enjoyed it. I'm reading her other books, and there's this one book where honestly, like, he likes to be called daddy, and I'm like, stop it. I'm gonna shoot myself in the face.
As soon as you said kinks, I kind of knew where that was going.
I'm like, no, that's so. I can't.
Which one of her books has the daddy one? I don't know. So,
hold that thought. I will tell you in just a minute. I honestly just read it.
Ash Hart's books. Thank you for agreeing with me. The cheating is my biggest thing. And then even when they're separated, it still bothers me. I was talking about this with someone with the second chance romance. Second chance romances are really hard for me because I get the cheating is my biggest thing here with romance novels. It really bothers me. I'm not kidding. It really does bother me. And so with the second chance ones, when they say they've been in love with their significant other or their hero or their heroine the entire time, but they've had significant relationships or they're, you know, sleeping with other people and all of a sudden, like, but they're like, I still loved you the entire time. I can't swallow that pill. I can't with that one. Can't do it. Because in my head, it's not only disrespectful to the people you're with who you don't care about, but you're claiming something and it just doesn't feel authentic to me. It's really hard to make that seem plausible or real to me, because if you really did love this person, would you be dating this other guy for 3 years or this other girl for, however long they're together? Would that really be the case? And if so, realism, take that out of my romance. I want better. I want better for my romance novels. Give me something to, hope for and enjoy and read in the happily ever after. Second chance romances are hard for me. They really are.
I get that. Well, honestly, I don't feel like that's like such a tough pill to swallow for me, just because, I don't know. I feel like, maybe like you did really love this person in the heartbreak, just like, I have to move on. You have to like force yourself to move on. And if that's the situation, yeah, but like all of the relationships since then, or maybe it's just one relationship that they like ended tragically. And I just kind of like, yeah, they ended because you're not with your true love. Ha! But, the ones that are just like, they seriously moved on, they're engaged or they're married, that I can't deal with.
But see, there are levels. It's not just, it does matter. This isn't just across the board. There are nuances and there are details to this. There are things to consider second chance romances that are different from other archetypes or tropes and stuff. And I saw the other one say love triangle, and I saw the one indecisive or weak heroine. So there are pet peeves. Yeah. There are pet peeves here.
The book that I was talking about the daddy, it's actually called Tempting Daddy's Boss, and I'm just like, can we not? Can we not?
It's called Tempting Daddy's Boss.
Yeah, it is.
Well, at least it isn't called Save Me Daddy or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. And it's not really even her daddy. It's like her stepfather, and she doesn't even call him daddy. She's calling like her like significant other daddy during scenes, and I'm like,
even Max doesn't like either. Max does not approve of this either.
Max does not approve.
Well, Alexa Riley, that's one of their big things. You gotta call they have the daddy little, like that's their thing. Yeah. That's
terrible.
Just like, I don't know if you've read Alexa Riley, but I know that's one of their biggest, I don't know if it's a kink or if it's one of their stories, but they have, what is it called? DNL, like Daddy Little Girl, is that what it's called? I think that's what they
like the series of books.
This just took a turn in the conversation. We're not even talking about Archer.
And honestly, it was just so real for me because, okay, tangent, but I work at outpatient radiology facility where patients come in and have like x-rays, CTs, whatever, and I work in registration. And so this one patient came in and, you have to sign all like the HIPAA forms and everything, whatever. It's like standard. And then she literally says, oh my gosh, I can't make this up, guys. I cannot. She says, I can't read this. You do it for me, Daddy. Like she said that like to her significant other, to her husband in front of me. I was like, oh, it made it so real. And I'm like, do people really call their significant others daddy? If you do, I'm so sorry, but I just can't.
You're like, I'm not judging you, but like I am just a smidge. You're like,
I'm judging you. But even like if you do it like in the privacy of your own bedroom, cool. Don't do it out in public. That's weird.
Oh, funny. I would have loved to have seen your face when that happened. I kind of want like a meme of that.
You like to be like the fly on the wall. I was like, no, look anywhere else but at the couple.
I don't know how, I've seen pregnant women be like, oh, Daddy, feel the baby. Like I've seen that and I've heard that, when there's a kid involved, but that's different.
That's okay. It wasn't like,
this is permitted.
Yeah, like it's not so blatantly sexual.
I just saw in the comment, you've read some second chance romances that worked well. but a really strong writer and plot to make that work. I want to know what second chance romances you think were done well, and you got to tell me because I need to read some well done second chance romances. This is a second chance romance. I love Persuasion. But they are true. They are true to one another the entire separation. So high standards there, people. And it's Jane Austen. So
I love Persuasion. Is my second or my favorite Jane Austen book. I love that book so much. So yes.
But it's a second chance romance technically. Like it is technically a second chance romance. But again, they're true to one another. They love each other the entire time. Anne Elliot and Captain oh my god, Captain Wentworth, they love each other the entire time. Stay true to one another. And it's Jane Austen. Just nothing can go wrong there. Oh my god. And apparently we're going back to the daddy stuff in the comments.
Yeah, yep. He wanted oh, honey, good thing you escaped while you could. Poor thing. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see if there's any more notes that I have.
When second chance romances now. This is I'm curious. You gotta tell me.
Tell her.
I know.
Okay.
You gotta recommend.
This is after he was shot, and then she's like saying like, "Hang on, like no, like don't you leave me." And then, but Archer didn't hear me. He was already gone. And literally, this is what I said. Looking at my note right now, I was like, "The fuck he is!" Like he was already gone.
It's a romance novel. We get our happily ever after. We have that guarantee, people, and I hold that guarantee in high standards. If I don't get my happily ever after, something's going wrong. Something's going down. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be a happy camper.
And I think my last note was in the epilogue, the fact that she was pregnant, and I love that so much.
I mean, it was so. I have to admit, with the kids, I loved how they signed with him and how they were able to communicate, and that wasn't an issue. It was just understood because that's their daddy. And I know that's like a very different use of the word daddy, but you know, he was,
and that's okay. That daddy is okay.
That was funny. No, I mean it was so cute when he interacted with the kids, and you know, he's like, I don't care how many are in there this time as long as it's not a goat. I don't know how I felt about that line when she's like, as long as it's not a goat. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be really like a laugh out loud moment. I kind of went, okay.
Okay.
Did you really think you were going to give birth to a goat? I'm kind of curious here, Bree. What did you think was going on?
That kind of just reminds me of like, you know, when you're pregnant and you're just like, oh, what are you having? And like the people always ask, like, what are you having? And then I just saw this one meme. It was just like the pregnant lady's like, a baby, I hope, or like a human or something. I'm just like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, I mean, I know, I mean, there's the one about, you know, if you're married and you don't have kids, like they have the dog kids, the dog, you know, dog parents. You just remind me of that with those memes.
Yep.
I thought the kids were really cute with Archer. Again, I love him, so you know, every scene with him is cute to me.
Absolutely. I'm writing down Ash Hart's books. Just said I just read The Day of the Duchess by Sarah MacLean, and I thought it was done really well. And then Morris just said, again, the magic, another Lisa Kleypas, absolutely is my favorite second chance romance. I can't talk. I'm sorry, guys. I finished this entire bottle of wine as we're sitting here.
And I'm the PG version over here. Like I got the PG, you know, so I just have my Arizona iced tea. Like I'm very, you know, I was kidding around earlier that I was going to keep it PG with my like just Arizona iced tea and my water bottle when you had the wine. And I realized Hallmark, they now have wine in their movies. I don't know. This started a couple years ago. The characters would be drinking their wine in the movies. And I always thought that was weird for Hallmark because it's Hallmark. But the characters, they now drink in Hallmark movies. So
that's interesting. I didn't know they did not drink, but.
Well, that's why it was funny because I said I was going to keep it PG with my just like plain old iced tea. Not Long Island iced tea, just regular iced tea. But I can't even say keeping it PG because Hallmark is rated G and they have wine. So you're clear as far as I'm concerned.
I'm in the clear.
Clear.
I'm in the clear. Yeah, honestly, I love me some wine. I'm a wino.
I don't drink.
You have said that in the past. Does it make you uncomfortable if I drink?
No, I mean, again, I'm a vegetarian as well. I don't eat meat, but I'm not one of those, I'm going to pontificate my beliefs onto you. I mean, even then, it's just because I just don't. It's not like I am a diehard this or something. It's just, I just don't do it myself personally, but that doesn't mean I'm going to say something to anyone else. People always do that with the vegetarian stuff. Like, oh, are you going to try and convert me? People do that to me a lot. Or they'll say, do you mind? I'm going, of course not. You can do whatever makes you happy. I'm not I'm not about to be one of those people at PETA throwing stuff on you. That's just not my disposition. I would never say anything to anybody.
You're so sweet. Because I would hate to make you uncomfortable. I'm just like, here I am. I was like, hurry, drink this.
I'm fine. Do whatever makes you happy. You're a nice human being. You can do anything you want. Like, I mean, you want to eat meat, eat meat. If you want to drink your wine while you talk about Archer's voice, drink your wine. I hope it's delicious. I don't know how you describe wine. I hope it's delectable. I mean,
it was really good. It was like, it's a pink Moscato raspberry flavored, and it was delicious.
I didn't even know they had raspberry flavored wine. Did not even know that.
Yeah.
This is the thing. What is it? The sommeliers? I don't want to pronounce it. I don't know anything about wine. I just know people like, oh, it's oaky. It's They say these things. I mean, I love watching Frasier, and they were always talking about their wine. That's all I know about wine. Anything I know about wine is from Frasier.
All I know is that I know which wines taste good, and I buy those.
And we are no longer talking about Archer's voice anymore. I was gonna say, so if anybody has any comments about the actual book of, before we forget, and I just remembered this, we have to talk about our book choices for next month. And so Nicole and I are both choosing two. We're both proposing two. I almost forgot. And so if you guys have any last minute or any other comments about Archer, please type away right now. Type away. But we have our two book choices each. So.
Yeah. Yes, I'm bringing my first pick up right now. And that is My American Duchess by Eloisa James. I can't, not have an Eloisa James book in here, apparently. It says, the arrogant Duke of Trent intends to marry a well-bred Englishwoman. The last woman he would ever consider marrying is the adventuresome Mary Pelford, an American heiress who has infamously jaded two fiancés. But after one provocative encounter with the captivating Mary, Trent desires her more than any woman he has ever met. He is determined to have her as his wife, no matter what it takes. So, yeah, I mean, this book has gotten average, probably 4 out of 5 stars. That's the average. So, obviously, I love Eloisa James, and I want to read, every single book by her, and you're just showing off your picture.
And I met her, and she reposted my picture of her, or my picture with her, with my same caption, and so I was fangirling so hard. She reposted it, and I'm like, Eloisa James reposted my picture, and so then I was fangirling all over again. It's a vicious spiral of just fangirling all over again.
I'm so jealous right now. Seriously, whenever authors like my tweets or retweet my tweet, I'm just like, oh my gosh,
She called Max adorable. She talked about Max. She's like, oh, Max is adorable. I'm like, she knows my dog's name is Max. I got so excited. I'm like, she knows my dog's name is Max. I fangirl so hard with Eloisa because I love her. And so when she reposted my picture, I'm like, that's me. I can't do it. Oh,
what's your first pick?
My first pick. Oh, so we're gonna alternate now?
Yes.
That's working. Okay. So it took me a while, and then I realized we just always need to have a Nora Roberts book in the mix.
Yes, we do.
I mean, I love how it's called the Nora Roberts Lifetime Achievement Award for Writers because she's the gold standard in romance. So I chose The Obsession.
Ooh.
I purchased this book a long time ago. It's been on my to-be-read list for a while. I've had this. I mean, this is one of those books I'm going to read. If we read it together, all the better. I would love to have some company on this reading journey. It will get read someday soon. So we have a character. Her name is Naomi, and so her dad, I should say, her dad is a vicious man, and she gets trapped in her basement and realizes that, he's doing all these terrible, horrible things. And when they come to light, she's just traumatized, and so she then becomes a photographer, flash forward. And so she's trying to live her life, move forward, and it's very difficult. And so she stumbles upon this old house, and she wants to repair it, and she wants to live in solitude. I'm just looking down at the jacket cover. But it's really hard for her to open up. And then she meets Xander Keaton. And so things pick up from there. But can secrets stay secrets? And can the sins of her father be overcome? So the tagline is, but the sins of her father can become an obsession. And she's learned time and again that her past is never more than one nightmare away. So again, we have someone like Bree, very traumatized. And so since y'all seem to like the character of Bree, I was kind of reminded of this. So we have The Obsession by Nora Roberts. So if you'd like to see a woman overcome trauma and have a little bit of mystery and suspense and romance, we have this read. So
yes, that's kind of like a romantic suspense one. I love that.
Well, I thought it was great. Yeah, I kind of liked how it was multiple subgenres.
Yeah.
So that was why I wanted to do that one. So we got a Nora Roberts. So.
Nice. My second pick is The Secret History of the Pink Carnation by Lauren Willig. I think that's how you say it. Book description: deciding the true romantic heroes are a thing of the past. Eloise Kelly, an intelligent American who's always manages to wear her Jimmy Choo suede boots on the day it rains, leaves Harvard Library bound for England to finish her dissertation on the dashing pair of spies, the Scarlet Pimpernel and the Purple... I'm not sure what that says, but what she discovers is something the finest historians have missed, a secret history that begins with a letter dated 1803. Eloise has found the secret history of the Pink Carnation, the most elusive spy of all time, the spy who single-handedly saved England from Napoleon's invasion.
Isn't the Scarlet Pimpernel a book? I read that.
Maybe. Hold on.
Scarlet Pimpernel is a real book.
It's a real book?
The Scarlet Pimpernel, I know that's a book. Or is this like a? It's
like, I guess these two are like spies. Scarlet Pimpernel and then Purple. I'm not sure what that says. It's Gentian. I'm not sure what that is.
I remember reading the Scarlet Pimpernel a long time ago, and then Grey's Anatomy came up, and I was like, I read that book. I was so pumped that I got the reference. I don't know if anyone else does that when a show references a book or something. You go, I read that. You feel so, get to feel so smart. Like, hey, I know something. I don't know.
It's like, I understood that reference. I feel like Captain America.
Like comic books, don't you?
I do. I love comic books. But that book was recommended to me by, if anybody has watched my channel, she sometimes is on my, does some tag videos or unboxings with me. Her name is Jen. She's my co-hostess with the co-mostest. She recommended that book to me, and she has had a couple of girls in my book club read this book series, and they really like it. So just throwing that out there. Angela, what's your second pick?
So I'm throwing a contemporary in the mix. And so I've had this on my to-be read list for a while. This has been on my to-be read list probably since it came out. Show Me the Way, and this is the first book in a series, but it is a standalone. It's one of those you can be read separately. And so it is called Show Me the Way by A.L. Jackson. And so apparently it's been on the New York Times bestseller list. It's been on the USA Today bestseller list. And so we have Rex Gunner, and he is the owner of the largest construction company. I'm looking at my window in case you see my little eyes drift. He owns a construction company and the Gingham Lakes. And so he's been burned one too many times. He's shut down a little bit. His wife left him to raise their daughter alone. And so he does not want to date anyone. He does not want any woman in his world except for his little girl. She's the only one who can have his heart.
Oh.
I liked that in the little. It says the only woman he'll ever let have his heart is his little girl. And so I already like him.
Yeah, seriously.
And then enter Raina Dane, which is an interesting name. As vulnerable as she is tempting. So she ran away from town when she was 17, and she swore she would never return. But her grandmother passed away, and so she has to come back to take care of her arrangements. And so guess who she moves in next door to? Can you guess?
Oh,
So Rex is her next door neighbor, and he knows he's in trouble when he sees her. She's gorgeous and sweet and everything he can't trust because he's been burned too many times. We've established that. Until she becomes the one thing he can't resist. One kiss sends them tumbling toward ecstasy, but in a town this size, paths are bound to collide. Caught in a web of lies, betrayal, and disloyalty, I don't know where that comes in, Rex must make a choice. And so I thought it was interesting that he is the focus of this romance novel. Kind of like Archer. The hero is being put here in a very prominent way. I think this is his story more so than it is hers. I'm very intrigued by that, and I love that he loves his little girl. So,
yeah, I do too. That's fantastic.
And it has really
great picks.
It has really high ratings. Both of them do. This one I think is rated 4. The other one is I think 4.5 on Goodreads. So Show Me the Way by A.L. Jackson I think has the highest ratings here. If we're gonna be comparing books, wink wink.
You always have such great picks. I'm jealous.
Oh. I try. I mean, again, my to be read list is very, very long. And so when we were looking for books to put forward, I was trying to find ones that had more than one appeal to it. With Archer, the reviews are excellent. I heard great things about it. And so I kind of really wanted to read this book. And I thought it was great that everyone really wanted to read it as well. And it got so many votes. And everyone seems to really like Archer. And so that makes me feel so happy. I was so nervous if my book got chosen and people didn't like it. I was going to take it so personally and feel responsible that you wasted your time reading. I was really going to take it personally. And so I'm very, very happy that you enjoyed Archer, because I was going to seriously probably cry if someone was like, I did not like the book you chose. I was going to just be going, I'm so sorry. I mean, you guys seem to like it, so.
It was great. I love that this was our first book pick, and it was just fantastic. It was just, honestly, it was fantastic. I loved it. That makes me so happy. That makes me so, so happy. I mean, because I wanted to try and find something that would appeal to a lot of people, and so I really did put in a lot of time trying to find my book choices. That's why I landed on this Nora Roberts book, even though I have, I think, 20 behind me. I don't know if you can see them. I haven't read because she's written like how many? And so like 100, 200.
I think like 245. No big deal. And then A.L. Jackson. This is one of those books I've been putting off reading because, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cry, and I might need moral support for this one. I don't know why. I just get the impression that I'm going to cry with this book. Not sure why. I just think I'm going to cry.
So, yeah, that's all of our book picks, and I'm sure we will post a poll about that.
Is that a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge to me?
Or I can do it.
I can do it.
You've been so busy, and like the Twitter, I'm just like, you're posting everything, but you do such a great job.
I will post a poll as soon as the live stream is over, so you guys can go vote. And it's Romantics at Heart. Make sure you are following the Twitter. We have the WordPress blog as well. We also have the Goodreads group, so make sure you join our platform so we can enjoy the romance love together. So, spread the love.
Yeah, we literally have all the platforms. So if you don't have a Goodreads, we have a WordPress. If you don't have a YouTube, we have a Goodreads, all that kind of stuff.
I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. I think it's great to have multiple platforms for something like this, especially because, again, if you missed the live stream, we have the Twitter, and you can. We're both on Instagram, so you can always tag us with other stuff as well. So just drop us a line.
Absolutely.
Any other last thoughts, requests, comments, anything? Maybe.
I don't. I went through all my notes, and I think we're about to wrap it up, girl. I'm so happy this is how we're ending the day. It's been a very long day. I did my oral exams for my PhD program today, so I was looking forward to this all day because I got to talk about Archer. So this was the highlight of my day by far. I love this conversation. I love everyone for watching, and I love you so much. You really is my best friend, people. Like, we are, I love you. Oh, this is seriously the highlight of my day. I love you so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. I just love you. I love you, love you, love you.
Oh, now I'm blushing.
We are best friends. We are seriously best friends. We're like one person, but in 2 different states.
As Max barks, she's like, I agree with that.
Max concurs. I'll keep tagging you in Harry Potter things. Okay.
Yes! Oh my goodness, I retweeted her. Is it on my, I think I know, I'm pretty sure I put it on my personal and romantics. I'm pretty sure. Oh, hi Caroline, hi. She's so sweet. Everyone should be following her. Yeah, no, this really was the highlight of my day. It's been a very long day. And so in between my, again, it's been a long day with professors, going in and out of exams, talking to them, doing my comps. I was tweeting. I was having the best time with Archer. Like, this really has been the highlight of my day. Like, I was tweeting in between things. It was giving me stuff to look forward to. Just love it. Love this. This is such a positive place. Love romance. Love you guys. Love you.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're doing this and it's actual reality and things are happening and oh.
So if you guys have any final romance thoughts about Archer, about the movie night happening in 2 weeks, just let us know. And so please comment. Otherwise, we're going to have to say goodnight really soon. Aw, thank you for tuning in and watching. You guys made me blush.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you don't have any last-minute thoughts, we are going to say goodnight.
I know, I'm doing a little countdown, like going once, going twice. You guys are so sweet. I mean, it is so great. I mean, I love having this outlet to talk about romance novels. I love having people to read romance novels with. It's so nice to talk about them because I feel as if you don't really get that chance on BookTube, and especially live like this. It's a very different interaction, and so you guys really are the best. So thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I mean, best Tuesday night. Best
Seriously. Seriously, I love this.
Going? Yes? Are we going to say goodnight now? I wasn't sure what was going on there.
I think we're saying goodnight, but yeah, I was just agreeing with you that yes, this is fantastic. I love that we can just come and have a safe spot to talk about what we love and no one's judging us.
Aw, romance love. That is the way to close out the night. So keep reading your romance novels, and I will post the poll on Twitter in the next 5 minutes. I promise. So please go vote for our choices. Vote for one of our choices. Just
this one.
Just this one. I printed it out just this one. Anywho. Which book of yours are you really pulling for? Is it the Eloisa one?
Yes, My American Duchess by Eloisa James. I would. Yes.
So we both have a favorite in the mix.
Yes.
So go vote your little hearts out as soon as the poll is up. So do that, and we will keep you posted about those results. You'll have 1 week to vote, I think. 1 week, yes. 5 days. So you'll be able to vote.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.